Chosen one, this is not about symbolism, and it is not about vague spiritual comfort. This is about money, structure, ownership, and the transfer of financial authority into your hands. What is approaching you is not poetic. It is practical. It is measurable. It will show up in contracts, accounts, opportunities, negotiations, disciplined routines, and decisions that most people are too distracted to make. You have felt a shift in your nervous system, a tightening in your spine, a sharpening behind your eyes, a steadiness in your breath. That is not imagination. That is preparation. Something in you understands that your rise will not be emotional applause. It will be financial elevation, and not everyone will recognize it while it is happening. Stay with me until the very end of this message, and when you do, write your warmest wishes in the comments, and write 99 because your words carry energy, and what you release now will return to you. And if you feel this message is for you, stay connected to this space so you don't miss what comes next. You were never designed to remain in survival mode. Even when resources were limited, something in your mind refused to shrink. Your brain has been rewiring quietly. Your spine has been learning endurance. Your breath has been training under pressure. There is a reason Scripture says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The heart in ancient language was not just emotion, it was the center of intention, the command center of identity. Your financial rise begins there, in the hidden chamber of identity. Most people chase money with anxiety in their bloodstream, but you are being called to approach it with clarity in your nervous system. There is a difference. When anxiety leads, the breath becomes shallow, the spine collapses, the decisions become reactive. When clarity leads, the breath deepens, the spine aligns, and the mind calculates with calm precision. This is not random. This is training. The rise that is coming to you is financial because your capacity has matured. The verse says, "To whom much is given, much will be required." That is not a threat. It is a blueprint. Increase requires structure. Wealth requires stewardship. Authority requires discipline. If you feel the weight of responsibility growing, that is confirmation, not pressure, confirmation. There is knowledge about money that has always been hidden in plain sight. The masses are taught consumption. The few are taught multiplication. The masses are trained to spend. The disciplined are trained to build. And here is where your sacred process begins. Tonight, before you sleep, sit upright with your spine straight. Place one hand on your chest and one on your lower abdomen. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, release for 4. Do this 9 times. With each breath, visualize your nervous system calming and your mind sharpening. This is not superstition. This regulates your internal chemistry. A regulated mind makes strategic decisions. Strategic decisions create financial leverage. Financial leverage builds freedom. You are not being called to fantasize about wealth. You are being called to prepare for it. Preparation is mental. Preparation is strategic. Preparation is disciplined. Begin auditing your time. Where does it go? Begin auditing your spending. What patterns repeat? Begin auditing your attention. What distracts you? Money follows focus, and focus follows identity. The reason this message feels intense is because your body already knows. Your blood pressure shifts when you think about expansion. Your brain lights up when you imagine ownership instead of employment. Your spine stiffens when you sense injustice in your financial life. These are not random impulses. They are signals. Scripture says, "The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just." Many misunderstand this as passive waiting. It is not. It is about readiness. When systems shift, when opportunities appear, when doors open, only those prepared can step through. Your rise will be financial because you are being shaped into someone who can handle it. Notice the mirror effect already happening. You are thinking differently. You are reacting differently. You are questioning patterns you once accepted. That is the beginning of authority, and authority is magnetic. Most people will not understand the discipline you are about to embrace. They may call it obsession. They may call it overthinking, but you will know it as alignment, softly, quietly, intentionally. This is not about ego. It is about capacity. Here is the second sacred process, the ledger of intention. Take a notebook. Divide a page into 3 columns. Column 1, current financial reality. Column 2, skills and assets you already possess. Column 3, systems you must build. Do not rush it. Write honestly. When you see your reality on paper, the fog clears. When the fog clears, strategy becomes possible. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are becoming structured enough to receive one. Your rise will not happen because you wished loudly. It will happen because you prepared quietly, because you disciplined your mind, because you regulated your breath, because you strengthened your spine, because you chose structure over chaos. And here is the hidden layer most people ignore: frequency. Your thoughts emit patterns. Your habits emit patterns. Your consistency emits patterns. When your internal frequency stabilizes around responsibility and vision, you begin attracting environments that match it. You may not see it yet, but the foundation is forming. The decisions you are making now, even the small ones, are stacking. Money is drawn to structure. Investors trust clarity. Opportunities move toward reliability. This is why the call is prepare. Prepare your mind. Prepare your schedule. Prepare your skills. Prepare your emotional stability. The financial rise will not ask for permission. It will ask for readiness. And you are closer than you think. You can feel it now, can't you? The shift is no longer abstract. It is structural. Something inside your nervous system has grown quieter, but stronger. Your breath does not rush the future anymore. Your spine does not bend at the first sign of pressure. There is a steadiness forming in you that most people mistake for detachment, but it is not detachment. It is calibration. Your financial rise is not emotional excitement. It is internal alignment meeting external opportunity. Most people will never understand what is happening inside you. They interpret hunger as greed. They interpret discipline as coldness. They interpret silence as weakness. But you are not withdrawing. You are consolidating power, not loud power, structured power, the kind that builds assets instead of arguments. The scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice it does not say, be inspired. It says, renewed. Renewal implies rewiring, neural pathways reshaping, habits dissolving, patterns breaking. When your brain renews, your decisions renew. When your decisions renew, your outcomes renew. This is not mystical poetry. This is neurological authority aligned with spiritual identity. Your financial rise will be direct because your thinking is becoming direct. No more scattered effort. No more emotional spending. No more chasing what impresses others. The masses move by impulse. The chosen move by design. You were not meant to be dependent on unstable systems. That discomfort you feel when relying on others financially, that tension in your chest, that is not pride. That is a call to sovereignty, and sovereignty requires discipline. Here is your next sacred process, the spine of commitment. Stand upright, feet grounded, shoulders back. Close your eyes and imagine a line of light running from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. This line represents your financial integrity. Now say internally, I choose structure over chaos. I choose ownership over dependency. I choose long-term over short-term. Repeat it slowly with steady breathing. You are training your nervous system to associate posture with power. The body remembers what the mind declares. Money responds to posture, not just physical posture, psychological posture. When you negotiate from fear, you shrink. When you negotiate from clarity, you expand. Expansion is felt, even in silence. Not everyone was meant to hear this. If this resonates, it is because you were already chosen to handle weight others would collapse under. Your rise will require calculation, strategy, timing, and restraint. Restraint is the hidden key most ignore. The verse says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance." Diligent does not mean frantic. It means consistent, measured, precise. Begin observing your impulses. When you want to spend, pause. When you want to react emotionally in business, pause. When you feel urgency that is not strategic, pause. That pause is power. In that pause, your prefrontal cortex overrides impulse. In that pause, your future self leads instead of your present emotion. The world trains people to consume instantly, but wealth accumulates slowly and multiplies quietly. You are being trained for multiplication, not consumption. There is another layer you must understand: breath and blood. When stress enters the bloodstream, cortisol rises. Vision narrows. Decision-making becomes survival-based. But when breath slows, oxygen increases. The brain regains clarity. Long-term planning activates. This is why your regulation matters. You are not just calming yourself, you are increasing financial intelligence. Here is your next technique: the 48-hour rule. Any major financial decision, wait 48 hours. Do not commit instantly. Let your breath stabilize. Let your mind evaluate. Let your emotional wave pass. Most losses happen in urgency. Most gains happen in patience. You are different because you are willing to delay gratification. And delayed gratification is the bridge between potential and prosperity. You may notice something else happening. Opportunities are beginning to appear in subtle ways. Conversations, ideas, patterns, articles that catch your attention. This is not coincidence. When your frequency shifts toward readiness, your perception sharpens. You begin noticing doors others walk past. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. But seeking is not wandering. It is focused inquiry. Knocking is not random effort. It is strategic persistence. Your financial rise will not be handed to you wrapped in applause. It will come disguised as responsibility, as a larger role, as a heavier task, as a system to build. And while others hesitate, you will feel recognition, because something in you has already rehearsed for it. This is why you must prepare strategically now. Strengthen your skills. Study markets instead of gossip. Track your numbers instead of your emotions. Build systems instead of chasing trends. The mirror effect is intensifying. As you grow internally, your environment begins to respond. People who once underestimated you begin observing quietly. Situations that once blocked you begin softening. But remember, this is a transmission for the few. Most will not understand your calm focus. Most will not recognize the discipline behind your silence. Your rise will be financial because your identity is becoming structured enough to contain it. And when identity stabilizes, income follows. Stay steady. The weight is increasing, but so is your capacity. This is where the transmission becomes heavier, not louder, heavier. Because what is approaching you now is not theory. It is manifestation, not mystical fantasy, but structured increase. You can feel it in your chest. That subtle pressure that is not anxiety, but expansion. Your nervous system is no longer resisting growth. It is calibrating for it. Your financial rise will not arrive as chaos. It will arrive as order. Understand this deeply. Money is not just currency. It is condensed trust, condensed value, condensed time. When someone pays you, they are transferring stored effort into your hands. That requires credibility, structure, reliability. This is why you have been trained in silence. This is why delays were necessary. Capacity must precede compensation. The verse says, "He that is faithful in little is faithful also in much." Most interpret this as moral advice, but there is an inner meaning, neurological reinforcement. When you manage small systems with precision, your brain builds pathways for larger systems. When you handle limited resources wisely, your nervous system learns stability under pressure. Expansion without stability destroys. Expansion with stability multiplies. You are being stabilized. Notice how your reactions have changed. Where you once felt urgency, you now feel calculation. Where you once felt comparison, you now feel focus. Where you once felt fear, you now feel quiet determination. That is not personality change. That is identity upgrade. Most people will never reach this stage because they crave validation more than responsibility. But you crave structure. That is why this resonates. Not everyone was meant to hear this. If this settles into your bones instead of just your ears, it is because you were already aligned. Now you must complete the final sacred process of this transmission, the steward's oath. Sit in stillness, spine straight, shoulders relaxed, hands resting on your thighs. Inhale deeply and imagine light moving through your bloodstream. Not symbolic light, but clarity. On the exhale, imagine doubt leaving your body like vapor. Now speak internally. I accept financial responsibility. I accept disciplined growth. I accept that increase requires structure. I will not sabotage expansion through impulse. Repeat it slowly. Let your breath anchor it. Your body must memorize this identity before your environment reflects it. Because the truth is this: your rise will test you. It will test your patience. It will test your humility. It will test your discipline. Money amplifies what already exists. If chaos exists inside, wealth magnifies chaos. If clarity exists inside, wealth magnifies clarity. That is why the preparation was not optional. It was protection. The hidden knowledge that few understand is this: wealth is not chased, it is aligned with. When your habits, focus, skill set, and emotional regulation synchronize, you become magnetic. Opportunities sense readiness. Partnerships sense stability. Investors sense reliability, even without words. This is frequency, not fantasy frequency, but behavioral consistency frequency. When you repeatedly show up disciplined, the pattern emits a signal. The world responds to patterns. And here is the mirror effect you must notice. As you commit to structure, distractions lose power. As you choose long-term gain, short-term temptations weaken. As you calculate instead of react, outcomes begin shifting subtly in your favor. The scripture declares, "The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it." Many misunderstand this. The inner meaning is alignment without internal conflict. When your wealth is built on structure, integrity, and discipline, it does not create anxiety. It creates stability. That is the kind of rise you are entering. Not explosive chaos, not reckless gain, but strategic elevation. You may feel isolated during this phase. Friends may not understand your restraint. Family may not understand your focus. Colleagues may not understand your silence. But isolation is often incubation. Seeds grow underground before they break through the surface. You are underground right now, rooting, and when you break through, it will not be emotional. It will be measurable. Assets, systems, leverage, ownership. Prepare does not mean panic. Prepare means refine. Refine your habits, refine your environment, refine your associations, refine your attention. Guard your focus like a gatekeeper, because attention is currency before currency appears. Your breath is steady now, your spine is upright, your mind is calculating calmly. This is what readiness feels like, not excitement, readiness. You are not rising to impress anyone. You are rising to fulfill capacity. There is a difference. When you rise to impress, you collapse under pressure. When you rise to fulfill capacity, you expand under pressure. And here is the final layer of this transmission. Your financial rise is not separate from your spiritual identity. It is an extension of stewardship. You are being entrusted with more because you have become more. The masses chase applause. The chosen build infrastructure. You are building infrastructure. Let others underestimate you. Let them misunderstand your discipline. Let them think you are moving slowly. You are not slow. You are precise. Your rise will be financial because you are no longer operating emotionally. You are operating structurally. And this is only the beginning. The next phase will not announce itself loudly. It will simply arrive, and you will recognize it instantly. Because you prepared, because you stabilized, because you accepted responsibility. Stay aligned, stay disciplined, stay steady. What is coming will match who you have become.